Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that you might know as a leFhy or a leaf blower, but we know as Fifi La Pew Pew. This one is located on the north spawn of Ensk, and it's under the command of graldebarantauro. It's quite a name anyway. Shall we just call you Grald or graldebarantauro? Yeah, well, graldebarantauro. I think we can mention the full name. Okay, game started. It's got a 105mm light field howitzer capable of 410 alpha and penetrating 53mm of armor, built on the hull of a heavy tank, the Char B1. So it's not a tank you want to ram into if you're in a light tank, and this is a tier 5 game, so there are a few tier 5 tanks out there that are kind of light, but in fact actually, well, there's only one enemy tank that's light. Well, maybe two if you count the T67, and there he is. T67 gets struck straight away for 147 hit points. That was a really good shot. That rounds out. No, he's not there. In fact, in this game, there's a huge number of heavy tanks. I think that may be down to the fact that Wargaming brought out a heavy in the Christmas holiday ops, and everyone wants to play it. Ooh, that was a good shot on the VK3001H. Managed to get his rear. Claimed another 390 hit points from a penetrating shot. Can we do the same again? Lining it up, trying to get a shot over the roof. It's not easy. In fact, I probably wouldn't try it myself because I think the chances are you'll hit the roof rather than hit the target. And that T67's remaining careful now to avoid enemy fire. But we've got a Matilda 4, and that happens to be a bot, and I can tell that because he's got colons in front of and behind the name. Rounds out. Direct hit for 217, non-penetrator. Lining him up for another one. Rounds out. Another direct, this time on the turret. And one more shot should finish him off. Rounds out. And it does. 160 and the kill shot. So we've got a 2 replay video for graldebarantauro, sorry. Yes, in fact we've got a number of replays featuring the PP over the next couple of days. Mainly because a lot of people have been playing it. Oh, that was a direct hit there on the KB1, you see he's pulling back. We go for the BK again, gets another direct hit. There's the KB as he's pulling away. Line up, rounds out. Oh, RNG said no on that occasion and the shell landed to the left, but I'm pretty sure if he gets another shot... Oh! Well, he tried to get the BK, but somebody else got there before him. It was the Matilda 4 and Arty. The shell actually did hit the roof of that building, just as I predicted it might earlier in the game. Okay, so he's changing position to avoid counter battery, but there is only one Arty on the enemy team, and it happens to be another Fifi. Now this tank is not very fast, it's 28 kilometers an hour maximum speed, and you can see it's a bit slower going uphill as well. It only goes down to about 17 to 20 kilometers an hour. That KV1's just sitting on the corner down there, waiting for anybody who turns up, and oh, there's the enemy VP, rounds out. And yes, he takes the hit for 158, which he obviously doesn't like, but there's not a lot he can do, just keep moving. And there's the kill shot. So he's got his enemy, but his opponent, but unfortunately he won't be able to get a counter battery because there's only one Arty on the enemy team. But there's plenty of enemy heavies out there. And he's finally got a hit on the only light tank on the enemy team, a Leopard. That's the VK1602. Not to confuse it with the Leopard 1, which is a tier 10. Oh, that was so close. It was only the fact that he dodged to the left that actually avoided him being struck. And that one hit the building. I think he had a building in the way there. So there was only 16 of these made. And we don't know where they actually ended up, although some have suggested that they were actually on the Channel Islands, the only part of Britain that was captured by the Germans during the war. It's suggested that they went to the Channel Islands, but after that, then they were taken away from the Channel Islands, but we don't know where they ended up afterwards. Obviously they would have been used because there's none around now, so they must have been used in battle and destroyed, and that's why we don't hear anything about them. Probably went off to the Russian front, but with no absolute proof of that. Okay, Churchill 1. Very difficult shot, trying to get it round the building, and not much of the armour showing, but this is a bit easier. Oh! And it hit the building behind him. Very difficult shots. There are some closer enemy though, he's just noticed them. Unfortunately the building he's behind is in the way, so he has to move a little bit just to get them into field of fire. The field of fire is only 30 degrees, 15 degrees either side of the centre line, but that's still enough to get good damage. Now dialing in, but now they've disappeared from sight. Oh, but he's been spotted, and it's the Panzer Aslains who spotted him. Now, are they going to try and attack him? Manually aiming on that Panzer, and he's gone. So he's gone out of the game. The thing is that he's running out of targets to shoot at. There's only 7 left. He's got 2 kills already, though. 2 marks of excellence on the barrel. Shows he plays the PP a lot, and he's good. Okay, T1 heavy. Direct hit on the turret. Okay, we'll stay with the close view for the moment, just to see if he can get another hit. Yep. More than likely he will still be there. Yes, he's still there. If he stays there for long, he will get wiped out though, because he's hitting the side. And there's the kill shot. Yep, he did get wiped out. The thing is, the side armour on a T1 Heavy is actually fairly weak, so if he kept firing his gun at it, he was going to get one shot, which might be a penetrator, and that would finish him off. KV-1 slightly heavier on the armour, so it's a little more difficult to take down, but you can still get them after about 3, maybe 4 shots. Another KV-1 is fairly close, but he's actually staying behind the buildings to remain safe. He doesn't want to come out from behind, and I think that might cost him. Well, that's a nice hit on the tracks, and he was spotted. Now he might take enemy fire, and that guy I think has the 180mm gun. 180mm? 85mm gun. Yeah, what am I saying? 180mm. 180 Alpha. Yes, if he has got the 85mm, then he can be dangerous. But he's instead going for the Wolverine, who's located there. No, hit the building just ahead of the target. Still going, and he's still there. The Wolverine. Now he's decided to look at the KV-1 instead, because he can't be sure that the Wolverine will stay in place. There's only 3 enemy left, but there's only 5 left on his own team. But he does have 3 kills. Okay, there's the KV-1. He's been spotted again, and yes, the guy is going to be firing in this direction. He fired prematurely before he was dialed in. I think that was more to do with the fact that he didn't want to get hit by that 85mm, and he realised if he pulled back just a little, he would be able to get indefilade, and then he wouldn't be shot at. Okay, we're going for the Wolverine this time. Oh no, 60 GFT is the only other tank destroyer left on the enemy team. There's only 2 left. And, oh my god, he got a kill with 1 shot. And now it's just the Wolverine left. Oh, and he gets in with 1 round as well. And that's 5 kills in the end of the game. So well done for graldebarantauro. My apologies for wrestling with your name, graldebarantauro. I'll have to practice the names before I actually play the replays in future. I think I'd be much better. But it's a very big name. The thing is that even Jingles actually has trouble with some of the names that he gets sent. And so he has to try hard too. This is a good game, actually. He got an ace tanker out of this. Even though it was a tier 5 game, he still got an ace tanker for doing as much damage as he did. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5 in this one. 1 short of a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16. Got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. Very good, that. As well as a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a Confederate as well for spreading the Arty love around and hitting as many of the enemy as he could, well, more than any other member of his team, and then taken out by other teammates. His win rate was 10,818. That's a very high score for a tier 5 game in the FIFA. Let's have a look at team score. Well, there were a number of bots in this game, as you can probably tell by now. In fact, there was 8 real players and the rest were all bots, so 7 bots in total. We can see that Armada 2013, he was anonymized in that game, actually got 3,230 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to the KV-1SA on the enemy team, 2,500 hit points of damage. And the third highest went to the KV-1 on his own team, who also picked up a cool-headed and 2,185 hit points. When it came to kills, graldebarantauro, get it right, got 5 kills in that game. 4 kills went to the KV-1 and the KV-1SA on the enemy team, and all the rest I've got less than that. And when it came to base XP, he's got that one as well, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,382 went to graldebarantauro, and 1,163 went to the KV-1, and they were the only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. But special mention should go to that KV-1SA on the enemy team, who actually managed to get 847 and beat all the other human players on graldebarantauro's team in that one. Yes, very well done. A lot of damage, that. He fired 34 shots in the game, got 22 direct hits on the enemy and 3 penetrations. Well, I think that contributed to him getting the score that he did. 2 of the penetrations were actually on the Wolverine, so one of those blind shots that he fired in was actually a penetrating shot, but we didn't see it because obviously we'd lost sight of the Wolverine by the time the shell went in. We just saw that it hit something. We didn't know that it actually had penetrated the Wolverine, and it must have really annoyed him for that to happen. Of the other penetrations, well, we know one of them was actually for the VK3001H, because we saw that one. It was a big hit, and that's 628 hit points in total on that tank, but the actual hit, I think, was something slightly less. And of course, he did hit that 60 GFT, but that was a non-penetrating shot. I think the other penetrator, well, it was 2 and 1, yes, so that was 3 in total. I've got them all there. He also got 20 splash, damage of 3,230 hit points, of which 3,012 were at more than 300 meters. So there were some close shots, and those were mostly on the tanks that he was firing out in the field at. 11 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, 69 hit points of damage assistance. From the battle, he earned 68,979 credits, got 690 for holiday ops, total of 69,669 credits altogether. And because he used standard ammo throughout, he ended up with a profit of 65,317 credits altogether. 2,073 XP times 2 for the first victory, 4,146 from holiday ops, 829 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 9,121 experience points altogether. So a very decent first battle for graldebarantauro. I'm getting used to his name after a while. Let's hope it stays like that. Let's have a look at the second battle. And the second battle is on the airfield map. And we're on the east spawn. Now he's decided to head south. And that's a good pick because from the south you actually get some fairly good shots at the enemy in the heavy area. You can actually go up on top of this rise and shoot from the bushes where the tank destroyers normally go. But if you did go up there, I think your tracer might get spotted from a long way away, and so you might get some counter battery fire. But it is an alternative to actually going down here, because of course you will be spotted if you go into this area as well. Here's Temple Mount, and the reason why I call it Temple Mount, lots of temples actually erected by the Greeks, not the Romans, although the Romans did build temples. It was the Greeks who are famous for building temples all over the place. In fact, when I went to Sevastopol, way back about 20 years ago, I actually visited the temple, the Greek temple at Sevastopol, because it was a Greek colony before the Romans took it over and before anybody else got hold of it. Very interesting, actually. It's quite a big metropolis, the site of Sevastopol. Nice direct hit there on the KV-222. This is a tier 5 game with tier 4 tanks in it, so plenty of opportunity for him to get some damage. Rounds out. Direct. Oh no, I thought that was a direct hit, but no, it shot over the engine deck and landed behind him. He's going for the Churchill one and gets a direct hit. Yes, I've been on quite a few travels around the place, and apparently Sevastopol, and this is what I learned while I was there, was quite a trading centre for the Greeks, because of course it could, all the Greek sailors could then go all over the Black Sea area and trade goods from various parts of the Black Sea. And of course, if they went through the Bosphorus Strait, they could then go out to the Mediterranean as well. Well, we know that there's a T-28 up there just above our tank, the Skoda. And there he is, he's actually moved. That's why he didn't spot our Skoda. He's actually driven away. But when he drives back, he might proximity spot the Skoda, and that might make it easier for us to actually get shots on him. There he is. Okay, now he's noticed. Okay, so line him up, and he goes back into cover straight away. So not a very cooperative target, but under those circumstances, it's generally better for an Arty player to actually move to a target that's maybe even more cooperative and hit them instead. That's why some tanks get favoured when they're being hit by Arty and some don't. The ones who tend to stick to cover tend not to get hit. Now, it's not that they're camping or anything, it's just that they're being very Arty aware. And the Churchill wasn't Arty aware, and that's why he's back in the garage now, scratching his head. Yeah, it's all a matter of being careful to work out where the enemy shots are coming from and to use the cover that's available to try and hide. Now, I'm not giving any secrets away to players to say, oh, you make it more difficult for Arty players. It would make it more difficult for Arty players. But most tank players, they just don't seem to be Arty aware, and they attack Arty because they say, oh, we're not being fair. Well, the fact is we are being fair. We're equal opportunity killers. We will go for easy kills as well as difficult ones, but if you make yourself an easy kill, then it's just, we're going to go for you first. Okay, Churchill 3's got two enemy tanks to our team, and the Excelsior is definitely after him, but yes, we get there first, and graldebarantauro gets the kill. I'm getting good at that thing now. Okay, oh, that was so close. Only 2 hit points left, only 60 TP, but he has to fire that round in, otherwise he's not going to get it. He wants the kill, and the kill actually goes to the Excelsior. So only 2 kills so far. That T-28 is still down there in the corner, you see, and again, it would have been a waste of time firing shells in there to the target we couldn't hit, because you couldn't get anything for the game, and you just maximise the amount of damage you do, and spread the Arty shells all around to make sure that you hit as many as you can to get the Confederate, because the Confederate means you get extra credits regardless of how the battle ends out. T28E with the F30 gun, the premium T28 with an 85mm, which makes it very deadly, but it's very slow as well. It's a heavy gun. Rounds out. Unfortunately, moved away. This guy is being extra Arty aware. He's only staying in the same spot for a few seconds to take a shot, and then he's moving on. So you have to try and catch him on the move, or when he's actually stopped to take a shot. Just a fraction of a second too late on the KV-222. I think we can see where the enemy Arty is now. He's over in the corner behind the bush in the northwest corner of the map. Probably around grid square D1. There is only one enemy Arty for us to deal with. And he's a PP as well, which they normally do balance it out. This N4A1 is the same one that was actually in the pocket. Just a fraction of a second too late there. Just a little more lead and you should be able to get him. Again, he dodged, weaved as he's moving to throw off Arty shells. This guy's Arty aware. Oh, that was very, very close. And he's getting closer and closer, but now he's in defilade. We can't get a shot. And the enemy's closing in with 3 down on the enemy at the moment. This is looking like it's not going to be a win. But anything can happen in the next half hour. And that used to be the catchphrase to Stingray, a 60s puppet show. Shows how old I am, isn't it? Okay, go for it. Take him out. Yep, nice shot. Okay, now we've got another one to take out, and this is a one shot. This is a Hetzer. All he needs to do is wait for this guy to be stationary. And yes, lovely. So that's how many kills now? 4 kills. And the KV-220's come down this end, and he's very low on hit points. But unfortunately, the Churchill 3 had designs on him instead, and now we've got that M4 and he's stationary. He stopped to take a shot, and that's all he needed. graldebarantauro took the kill, and now he's got 5. Same number he had in the previous game, but this time round, he's actually got 3 enemy kills still out there to get. Now, if he gets all 3, he would get a Radlers. So nice thought if he could get it. Probably going to take 2 shots to take out the VK3001H. That's 1. That's it. Lead him as he pulls back. Another hit. Actually, it left him on 45 hit points, so it will be 3 in total. Fires a blind 1 in. Nope, didn't get it. We need the T28 F30 to tell us where he is. Oh no, this is not what we want to see. He's waiting for him to get close. He got a hit and a penetrating shot, but he's left him on 4 hit points. So this is what you do. You charge down the enemy and do that to him. Keep moving. The enemy Arty will try to get you if they are within range. And I'm not sure that enemy Arty will be within range, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to fire in this direction. So he's got his top gun. Now what he wants is his Radleys, and unfortunately he's not going to get that because they've taken out the VK3001H, and now that means that there's only one enemy left. It's the enemy PP. Yep, the enemy PP, the enemy Lefty is still alive, but not for long. Oh, and he's crashed. Now, did he crash or did he dive? Well, there is the suggestion that that enemy Arty probably tried to drown himself, but I also suspect that he might have actually jumped off the edge of the cliff and then crashed when he hit the bottom down below. It's a possibility, we don't know. But Anyway, he didn't drown. That's the main thing. Because unfortunately, a lot of tank players get the impression that Arty tends to like water and goes directly to the water the moment that the battle is about to end. No, not all of us do, because we do like to get a few extra hit points before the game ends, and usually that means ramming the enemy at high speed if we can, and if we can't, then just, you know, dying in a really glorious way. Anyway, this game was another ace tanker for graldebarantauro in the Fifi. He managed a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and he got a top gun in this one for getting at least 6 kills. And his win rate was 9,556, which is Super Unicum standard and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the damage in this one was only 2,683, but, well, I mean, you've got to understand that this is a tier 5 with tier 4 tanks in it, unlike the other one, which was pure tier 5. So, obviously, graldebarantauro was much better in that one because he had more hit points to actually work with. In this one, he actually had fewer hit points to work with, but he was still getting a lot of damage on the enemy. The second highest damage was that M4A1, who was actually quite a good player, 1,394 to him. He obviously knew to avoid staying still for any length of time. The moment you only stay still long enough to take a shot and then move, and try and move as much as you can to avoid the enemy getting a shot on you. And the third highest damage went to the enemy Fifi, 1,009 hit points. And he wasn't a slouch either, because he got 4 kills in that game. 6 kills went to graldebarantauro, and 4 kills to the enemy Fifi, and then 3 kills to the Excelsior on his team. And when it came to base XP, he got the highest on that one as well, 1,135. He's the only player to get over 1,000, with the Excelsior getting 857 and the Churchill 3 getting 766. So, highest in all 3 columns. He fired 40 shots in this game, got 18 direct hits on the enemy and 4 penetrations. Now, let's just find out which ones he actually did penetrate on this game. Well, he did penetrate that really difficult player, the M4A1, that was actually moving about quite a bit. The shell came in and smacked into his side, went straight through, and so he got a kill there. He also penetrated the T28E with the F30 gun and finished him off. And he also penetrated the T67 as well. The guy came towards him at high speed and he timed his shot perfectly. So he was really close and he got a nice, neat little pen off that one. Lastly, I'm looking for the last penetration out of the bunch. And I suspect it... Is it? No, it's not that one. Not the KV2. Oh my gum, yes, the Churchill 1. He penetrated the Churchill 1 with one of his shots from a long way away and got 417 hit points off that guy. So some pretty good penetrations, and one surprising penetration on the Churchill because they're fairly difficult to pen. Going back to the details, he got 22 splashes as well, 2,683 hit points, of which 2,326 were at more than 300 meters. So some close range action. That was the T67. 1 hit received. It was a non-penetration. That was the T67. I think he mucked up his shot and actually shot something that was fairly hard on the armor. And of course it didn't pen. 115 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged. 6 were killed. And he earned 37,541 credits on a free-to-play account, 375 for holiday ops, 37,916 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 32,766 credits profit. 1,135 base XP times 2 for the first victory, 302 for this being a premium vehicle, 2,572 experience points altogether. So 2 really good games. One with a premium account and one without. And look at that Gauze medal. That is such an unexpected benefit of it being a tier 5 game, because that is quite unusual to get tier 5s and to get a Gauze medal. You normally expect to get that off tier 6 or tier 7 games, where obviously there's much more hit points available for you to actually fire at. But he did incredibly well. So congratulations on 2 really great games in the FIFA, and surprising that both of them at tier 5, and yet you came out with loads of awards out of it. So yeah, very well done indeed. Nice to see. If you enjoyed both of those replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.